you are setting goals, you want to make sure that you are aware of the time frame that is required to complete your goals. Because the thing about it, hello, this is Evangeline Zelini. Welcome back to Classy Chic. On this channel, we focus on a woman who's leveling up from a place of ease and flow with a holistic approach. So today we're going to be talking about how I accomplish my goal at this time of the year. A lot of people are getting their things together, getting their self-development on par, trying to restructure their year so things can go well for them. So I thought it would be a good thing to have these type of videos come throughout the month of December, just to kind of help you maybe take one or two strategies that I implement in my daily life and see how you can apply that to your life to make your life better, because we're all about leveling up on this channel. If these topics are topics you enjoy watching and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you turn your notification belt on, because I do drop new videos every Mondays and Wednesdays. Please also give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. But goal setting, there must be a structure, like a framework around how you're going to implement your goals, or implement the task or the steps that you need to take to meet these goals. So the first thing I would recommend is, when you are setting goals, you want to make sure that you are aware of the time frame that is required to complete your goals. Because the thing about it is, if you set those goals that you know maybe the time is too short, and when you get to the end of the year and you haven't met those goals, it's almost like your mind starts to play trick on you and start to make you feel less than, or unworthy, or not valuable, and you don't want that to happen to you. There's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but at the same time, understand that there are time frames for things to be accomplished. As I was saying, figure out the goals, the timeline that is needed to accomplish these goals. Not that you know exactly the timeline, but the projected timeline. I will go into details and also share how I put in goal structure or goal framework in order for me to meet my goal year to year. Once you figure out these goals, it's time to start breaking down the actionable steps that you have to take each time in order to get closer and finally meeting the goal. You don't want to set a goal and just jump in and start doing this and doing that. Like, for example, you don't want to set a goal and say, okay, I want to have my website hit 10,000 visitors every month. And then because you have that goal, you don't even look at the structure, you don't look at the data that you currently have to work off of. But then you just start saying, okay, in order for me to have 10,000 people come to my website, or have a monthly visitor of 10,000, then I just have to keep on social media all the time, or bombarding my email list with people all the time. You don't want to go that route. You want to start working with the information you currently have. Then the third thing you want to do is, you want to find the time. You must find the time to sit down and put everything maybe on Excel spreadsheet or Google Docs, whatever it is, but you must write the details down on how you're going to implement each of these tasks every week, every day, depending on what it is that you need to do to accomplish this goal. So let me jump into it, make it more practical, and then you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to be using a goal setting idea for my business, just an example, but it does not mean what I'm sharing here cannot be applied to your personal life as well, like personal goals that you have for yourself. Let's assume I want to hit $12,000 every month come second quarter. Okay, another thing I probably may have not mentioned already is I break down my goals by quarter, depending on the time frame again of these goals to be accomplished. So for example, like I was saying, if I want to hit $12,000, maybe I'm already hitting $8,000 a month. I'm not going to say by January 1st I want to hit that $12,000. It doesn't make sense, because technically you can't do that like that. So that's what I was talking about when I talk about the time frame. So what I need to do, what does it look like in order for me to attain this goal by come June 1st, or at least the end of June? The first thing I need to figure out is what my data is saying. So I'll have to go back to my dashboard and read the information I'm getting from what is currently happening in my business. Like, what are the source of my traffic? Or, for example, how many people coming to my site every day are actually making purchases, or monthly or weekly. So I will look at, those are the things I will have to look at. I have to sit down. That's the time you're building the time frame or the structure around to accomplishing this goal. So the first thing is you have to work with the data you currently have and see what the data is actually saying now. How many people are coming to your website right now? So you need to know what your conversion rate is. How many people coming to the website actually making purchases? So you have to understand these numbers. So once you understand what your conversion rate is, your average order value is, your traffic, the amount of people coming to your website, that's good. Now you also have to understand what's the source that's bringing its traffic to my website. So let's assume you're on several different platforms. You may have YouTube, you may have Pinterest, you may have Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you are on. You have to figure out who's bringing the most people to the website. And I'll tell you why it's important in a minute here. Because you can have 1,000 people coming to your website and 2 people only may purchase from the 1,000 people every time from Pinterest, or you can have Facebook that have only 500 people coming to your website from Facebook. However, you're getting 20 people or 15 people out of that 500 actually making purchases. You still need the 1,000 people, and I will get to that in a minute on how you're building this goal of hitting the $12,000. We're still building the structure, okay? Once you figure that out, then you are ready to put those tasks in place, because now you have data on what you need to move on with. Okay, I have all this data. I have XYZ people coming from Pinterest. Bulk of the people come from Pinterest. However, my Facebook people are the ones who are making purchases. You have these people coming from Pinterest, but there is something causing a friction from purchases to happen. So what you would do now is to figure out, that would be task 1. How can you run some tests on how you present marketing, okay, how you present your products or your content out there on Pinterest to get people to make purchase. That'll be something you will have to be testing. You have to be reviewing it every day. Maybe put a new marketing strategy in place, how you build your content for Pinterest, for example, for a whole week, run it for a whole week or maybe 2 weeks, and see how people are responding there, how they're converting. Facebook, in this case, since you have more people coming there from there actually making purchases, then you have to put in new steps on Facebook to probably increase the traffic flow. So one place has a whole bunch of traffic, but they're not buying. You have to build marketing or content around that to make them purchase. And then there's another place people are buying, however the traffic flow is very low. So you want to put in marketing strategy to be able to increase the traffic source, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is to increase our sale. And in order for us to increase our sale, we have to increase our traffic. Okay, so this will be a structure that I will put in place, in order to achieve that goal. And I will be testing different marketing, different content and things like that on those different platforms. I'm only using 2 right now because for time's sake purposes, but you get it, you know what I'm saying. So you test it, run different strategy, and then you will be able to understand where you're falling short in order to improve one end versus the other, to bring more people to the website and increase your orders. But these are the structures you have to put in place, okay, to understand what's going on in your data first of all, and then you start to implement different marketing strategies in order to accomplish this goal. And the reason why we need the time frame again, because we have to test and retest, test and retest, test and retest in order for us to get it to where it needs to be. So the next example I'm going to give will be on a personal goal. For example, if your goal is to, I don't know, maybe lose weight, okay, it's your personal goal, you want to lose weight, you have to have a structure set in place in order for you to meet this goal. But one of the things you can do in this case is, you have to prepare your foods or get everything ready to eat, so you don't fall back and start going to the fast food or making food that is already in the refrigerator. You want to make sure you prep so you can batch pack your food. That will be a task that you put in place in order to accomplish this goal. Another thing could be, maybe you want to have more water intake. You want to drink more water. That's a goal, a personal goal. So every night before you go to bed, put a bottle of water next to your bed, so the first thing you see in the morning when you wake up is that bottle of water, and you must drink it before you come downstairs. So those are different things you can do. So you must have structure. You must have structure in place for your goal. So if you want it to be permanent, you have to take all the little blockage from the way, so you can be able to accomplish this goal. There's this book that I read called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks about habit stacking. And one of the things I really took from that book is I was trying to wean myself off coffee. There's nothing wrong with drinking coffee, but there is something about coffee and creamer that if they don't go together, I can't drink it. So this was my thing. I had to, when I was still drinking coffee, I had to drink my water before I drink coffee. If I didn't drink my water, I didn't drink coffee. And another thing I did also, I implemented too, was if I did not spend my quality time, do my journaling, my meditation, my scripting, I would not get on social media. So I had to do those things before I got on social media, or else it would push the time. And so when you stack your habits, you find yourself doing them, because in order for you to get to the next one, you must do the first one, which I really love from that book, and I still use it till today. Anyway, I hope this video helps anyone out there understand that in order for you to accomplish any goal, you have personal or business, you must have framework in place in order to accomplish these goals. So if this video helps you, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon.